Well, if you're a gun owner in Worth, Mitchell, Cerro, Gordo, or Floyd County, you have a choice to make in the upcoming June 4 Republican Party primary. State Senator Waylon Brown versus his challenger, Doug Campbell. Who's going to fight for our gun rights in the Iowa Senate? Stay tuned, guys. We're breaking this race down for you right now. Hey guys, Aaron Dorr here with Iowa Gun Owners. It's election season. The June 4 primary is right around the corner. Everyone's telling us they're pro-gun. The question you've asked us in District 30 is who's going to actually fight for our gun rights? Who can we trust? We're talking about District 30. It's right up against the Minnesota border. It's Worth, Cerro, Gordo, a tiny piece of Floyd, and then all of Mitchell County. This is deeply pro-gun country, as everybody living in this area knows. And we have a longtime incumbent here, Waylon Brown, who was first elected by gun voters in 2016 when they threw out Mary Jo Wilhelm, versus challenger Doug Campbell. And again, the question we're always trying to give you guys information on is not who says they're pro-gun, but who's going to fight. Who can we trust who will not just campaign on our gun rights, but will fight to expand them in Des Moines? We have the biggest majorities we've had in pretty much everyone's lifetime right now in Des Moines, but we have only a tiny, and I mean tiny, number of members of the Senate who will actually lead in the fight for gun rights. That's the question we're going to try to help you guys answer in this race. We're going to begin with Doug Campbell, the challenger in this race. The great news about Doug is he has surveyed 100% pro-gun with Iowa gun owners. Every question we asked him, 100% pro-gun. He's going to vote pro-gun, but much more important to us, Doug Campbell has said in writing in his survey that he's going to lead. He's going to sponsor pro-gun bills. He's going to push the agenda in Des Moines. He's not just going to vote pro-gun when he's told he can do so by leadership. He's going to push. One of the bills we asked him about was the Second Amendment Preservation Act. We call it SAPA law for short. You've heard a lot about this. SAPA is our firewall against the Biden White House. SAPA tells Joe Biden, this is our state. We have our own state constitution. It defends our own gun rights. We have our own General Assembly. They pass laws for our state. We have our own cops paid for by our own tax dollars. And SAPA says you can no longer use our state law enforcement officers, county, city, or state level to enforce federal gun control law. If you want to enforce that tyranny, have your own manpower do it. We've had a bill sponsor on this in the House for a long time, but nobody, and I mean nobody, in the Senate has wanted to bother to carry this bill for quite some time. Doug Campbell said he would. We asked Doug about enhanced stand your ground law. You guys probably know this. We have stand your ground law here in Iowa. We passed it in 2017. The problem is that the bill was weakened significantly in committee in the House before it was enacted. So we have two real problems still with our self-defense laws here in Iowa. Number one, you can only use stand your ground law here in Iowa on your appeal. That's after you've been convicted of crimes, after you're broke, after the whole community thinks that you're a killer. Then you get to invoke stand your ground law on appeal. That's ridiculous. The other problem we have here in Iowa is that if you draw, let alone use, your firearm in a self-defense situation, in the eyes of the law, we're presumed guilty, and we have to then prove our innocence in court. But that's backwards. This is America. We're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. We are in some cases, but not when it comes to a use of force situation. 20 other states have already fixed that. Iowa has not, and it gives significant power to the government trying to come after a gun owner who's used their firearm in a self-defense situation. We got to fix it. Doug Campbell agrees. He'll sponsor that bill. All the rest of the questions we asked him, 100% pro-gun. He's opposed to AR-15 bans, opposed to universal background checks, and he's opposed to the red flag gun seizures that are becoming very popular in Republican states. See, these days, there's what they consider to be bad red flag laws, and then there's good red flag laws, they say. And what they want us to believe is that as long as you are present at the hearing, as long as there's no ex parte proceedings, that is somehow an okay version of red flag laws. That's crazy. There's no arrest. There's no indictment. There's no conviction for anything before you have your guns confiscated, even with these so-called good red flag laws. It's preposterous. Doug Campbell opposes that. every question we asked him up and down the ticket, Doug Campbell, 100% pro-gun. That brings up Waylon Brown. Again, IGO members worked hard to see Waylon Brown come into the Senate in 2016, and we'll give him credit where it's due. He has voted pro-gun when he has been told it's okay to vote pro-gun. So when we've enacted constitutional carry, he was a yes vote on that. Probably passed or voted for other pro-gun bills along the way. The problem here, again, the question you're asking us is who's going to fight? And Waylon Brown, in the long time he's been there, 8 years now, has not fought to expand our gun rights. This cycle, Waylon has refused to fill out his IGO gun rights candidate questionnaire. It's unfortunate, but it's kind of what we expected from Waylon Brown. More importantly, he refused to co-sponsor and support the Second Amendment Preservation Act in the Senate in years past when it was introduced. The bill number, this was 2022, this is 2 years ago, Senate File 2002. It was sponsored by now Congressman Zach Nunn. It was our SEPA legislation. It got past the subcommittee. It died in the committee process, in part because not a lot of senators wanted to put their name on the bill as a co-sponsor. Why? That's a question you have to ask Waylon Brown, because he refused to fill out the co-sponsorship request on SEPA. You know, to our knowledge, and if we're wrong, we will correct the record, but to our knowledge, I don't believe that Waylon Brown has ever filed a pro-gun bill in Des Moines. Maybe he has. We are unaware of it if he has, but he never has filed a pro-gun bill to our knowledge. Many times we've asked Waylon to co-sponsor pro-gun bills. He just kind of shrugs and walks away. He does not want to lead in this fight. So I would like to be able to tell you where he stands today on enhanced stand your ground law. I can't, because Waylon won't tell anybody. Like to tell you, same with SEPA, same with red flags, same with all these major questions for gun voters. We'd like to give you details on where Waylon Brown stands, but we can't, because he will not fill out his IGO gun rights candidate questionnaire. And I don't know about you, but with our gun rights under attack in ways that we frankly haven't seen in generations, certainly from Washington, D.C., the idea that a candidate, especially in a GOP primary, will not tell gun voters where he stands on the issues of the day is insufferable. It's insufferable. And that's the case we have right now with Waylon Brown. You know, we checked his social media platforms. We can't even find a single mention of gun rights anywhere on his social media platforms. Now, maybe he adds some, right, after this video comes out. If he does, just check the date stamp.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Will they feel happy that you're doing this to other farmers? They're farmers. Small farmers don't have a lot of people that can stand up for them, but you're not standing up for them. What does that mean? We're just going to have to sit there and take it? They can take our land? What do you think? Got nothing to say, do you? We knocked doors for you. I even went to one of your fundraisers. I thought you changed. You haven't changed a bit. I feel sad for that.
But bottom line, Waylon Brown, while he will vote pro-gun when he is told it is okay to vote pro-gun, Waylon Brown will not lead in the fight. He will not even co-sponsor bills in that fight, and he will not fill out his IGO gun rights candidate questionnaire. So if you see Waylon at a forum or on the campaign trail or door knocking, be sure to ask him, what's your deal? Why won't you sponsor bills? Why won't you co-sponsor bills? And fill out the IGO gun rights candidate questionnaire. And if you see Doug Campbell on the campaign trail, be sure to thank him for loudly declaring his support for our gun rights, for surveying 100%, and for vowing to be a leader in the fight to expand our freedoms here in Iowa. Guys, that's our recap on this race. Do us a favor, share it on social media. Make sure other gun voters know what's going on in this race. To see more recaps on more races, go to our Facebook page, YouTube channel, or website for much more information. Finally, guys, join the fight today. Go to joinigo.com.